very easy to handle the texturing part. I can say that because of that, it's very famous, and you people are here to understand about the Substance Painter basics. So this today's session, it's only on basics, interface, and what are the new things they added, and what are the main features they are introduced in Substance Painter. All these things we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, so then what is Substance Painter? Substance Painter, it's now with Adobe. Before Adobe Algorithmic is a brand which had this Substance Painter. Now Adobe acquired this brand name and Substance Painter, and it's with Adobe. And especially this Substance Painter introduced for texturing part, and it's amazing texturing we can produce from Substance Painter. Especially this is specifically famous for Pbr. Okay, so what is Pbr? We can just check it out. Physically based rendering, that is called Pbr. Okay, this is a method of shading and rendering that provides a more accurate representation of how light interacts with surfaces. It is referred to as physically based rendering or physically based shading. Depending on what aspect of the pipeline is being discussed, PBS is usually specific to shading concepts, and PBR is specific to rendering and lighting. However, both terms describe the process of representing assets from a physically accurate standpoint. That means we can give a very accurate result in our rendering process. That is the reason we prefer to go with Substance Painter. And next one, so what is the benefit of this PBR? So here, as an artist, we can view the benefits of PBR from an artistic and production efficiency mindset. PBR remove guesswork of authoring surface attributes such as specularity, since it is methodology and algorithms are based on physically. It is therefore easier to create realistic looking assets. Assets will look accurate in all lighting conditions. And third point, PBR provides a workflow for creating a consistent artwork even between different artists. Okay, so that is the special thing of PBR. So now, without delay, we will move to Substance Painter. So here is the Substance Painter interface, and how we can interact with the Substance Painter, and how the interfaces are working. We'll discuss, and then we will move to tools. Okay, this is like very easy. So the basic prerequisite for this session is Maya, and Maya, especially you finish your UV and texturing portion. In Maya, it will be very easy to understand. Suppose you people are in Maya modeling, no problem. Even this is a little bit easy to understand for you. And how the flow will be on texturing, it's very easy. Just be with me. So I will give a brief about how we can handle the Substance Painter. Okay, so now this is the interface of Substance Painter. It's having a shelf, texture set list, texture set settings, layers, properties, paint, and all these things are here. And in this top left, we have a file, edit mode, window, viewport, plugins, help, and we have a separate tools over here like Photoshop. Okay, and here how we can interact this 3D space, because this is a 3D space, so we are not able to see anything over here. So I am bringing one 3D geometry over here. So one more thing I would like to tell you here, you can't create any 3D geometry in Substance Painter. I think you people are aware of. So we can bring the 3D model from Maya, Blender, or 3ds Max, and we can import into Substance Painter for texture. Before importing this geometry in Substance Painter, we have to unwrap the geometry properly in Maya, 3ds Max, and other 3D software. Without unwrapping, when we bring it over here, we won't get a proper result at the time of texturing process. So we have to be careful on that. So here I'm trying to select the geometry, and I'm trying to see this is a wireframe of the geometry, and I can zoom. So suppose you are good in Maya, then it's similar kind of shortcuts and similar kind of mouse and keyboard shortcuts we can use for interacting with Substance Painter. Alt plus left mouse button to zoom in, zoom out. Sorry, right mouse button to zoom in, zoom out. Alt plus left mouse button to rotate. Alt plus middle mouse button to pan. That's it. Nothing special or nothing new in this keyboard and mouse interaction. And here I have chosen Polygon Fill. That's the reason I got a wireframe mode. So because when I try to rotate, because the geometry is spherical geometry, without this Polygon Fill, when I try to go in a normal mode, whether I'm rotating or not, you will get little confused. That's why I switched on this. So you can see the proper wireframe over here. Okay, and one more thing in this report, you can see here default lighting. So this default lighting, the default lighting, because why it's available over here, we have an environment. So we have an environment settings. In this environment settings, I'm going to click on this camera button over here. So when you click on this camera button, you can get the display settings over here. In the display settings, you can find out the environment settings. In the environment settings, you can find out the environment map. In the environment map, there is a image over here. That is a panorama image. This panorama image we loaded here. Because of that, we are getting that HDRI lighting surrounding this geometry. So I want to see the panorama image over here. So then what I should do, I should increase the environment opacity. When I increase the environment opacity, I can see the environment a little bit blurry, because here this environment blur is on. Because of that, it's blurry now. I'm going to reduce this blur value. See, when I reduce the blur value, automatically I can see the environment very crystal clear. See here, I can get a very clear visibility of the background. So I can rotate and I can zoom in, zoom out. Zoom in, zoom out, the geometry is going front and back. But when I rotate the entire scenes, you can see, observe over here. And suppose you want to change this image. Instead of panorama image, you want to change. We have a variety of images over here. You can choose those images and you can just apply for your scene. Okay, so how? See, I'm going to select some more images over here. It will bounce back on the geometry surface. See here, when I try to click on this image, I can see some kind of lights. That bounce light is affecting the surface of the geometry, right? So this is what is happening in this environment settings. So you can choose a different type of environment settings over here, whichever you want. Suppose studio lighting or anything, you can choose from here. Okay, so you got the idea about how to add environment lighting to your scene in this scene. Then next one, you can increase the exposure value, but I won't suggest you to increase the exposure value. Keep that exposure value 0 in a default level, because when you increase the exposure level, it will affect the texturing part. So when you are using a texturing, so everything should be in a default level. So don't increase this environment exposure level at any cost. You should keep it as a 0. Okay, so this is what we have to do. So once it's done, then you can just rotate the environment easily through this shortcut Shift and right mouse button. When you click on Shift and right mouse button, drag your mouse from left to right, the environment rotate. Okay, suppose this is the front view and the sunlight is in the back side. You want to bring the sunlight front and you want to just rotate this environment with the help of shift and right mouse button. Otherwise, you can use this slider. Manually, we can use the slider to bring this light exactly on the position. So is it clear? So I think you got the idea about environment settings now. Then next one, we can switch on the shadow. So here I'm trying to switch on the shadow. You can just observe this bottom of the sphere. When I switch on, when I switch off this, the shadow, it won't reflect at the bottom of the spherical shape. When I switch on the shadow, you can see the spherical shape in the bottom, right? So this is what we are going to do in the process of texturing. But normally we won't use the shadow part at the time of texturing. We can keep it off. When you want to see some changes or something in the scene, you can switch on and switch off the shadow and observe this, how it looks. Okay, and even you can reduce the shadow opacity. So here is the slider. You can adjust the slider. Automatically, that opacity of the shadow will decrease and increase. Next one is camera settings. Field of view is there. So it is default 50. So you want to increase, you can increase, but I won't suggest you to increase this. You can keep it as a default value of 50. And focal length also, you can keep it in the same value. Don't adjust. And activate the post effects. I won't suggest you to use this because when you use this post effects, you can add some glare, color correction, depth of field, all these things we can use over here. But as of now, we no need to worry about this part because this is a little bit extra. So we are going to focus only on texturing part. This kind of post effects kind of thing we have. And Anti-Aliasing will make that edges crispy. Like instead of blurry or jaggy edges, we can make the value a little bit higher, and the edges will be crispy and it won't be blurry in your output. Okay, so these are the display settings in Substance Painter. I think you got the idea. I'm not running fast. My speed is okay for you, or I'm going very fast? I need your response. You can just type over here. Then according to that, we can proceed. So is it fine? The speed is okay? Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. We can proceed.
Yeah. Okay, done. Okay, so now we got the idea about display settings. So now we have to move to other settings over here in the scene. Now I don't want to see this backdrop, the environment in my scene. So I'm going to remove that. So switch on this display settings and I can go to environment opacity, make this value 0. That's it. Now we will move to texture set list, okay, and texture set settings. Texture set list will be the geometry, whichever the geometry you are importing into Substance Painter, it will show the detail over here. That means, suppose you are importing a character, human character, a robo character, robo head, robo hand, robo leg, like that. We are having a separate geometry. Then all the things will listed over here. Okay. So if you want to see the only head part, you can switch on and switch off the visibility over here, and you can just observe the geometry. Okay, that is a process we can use for texture set list. Texture set list itself, it shows that it will show the list of geometry in your texture set area. Okay, that's what we are going to work on this texture set list. And next one's texture set settings. This texture set settings is a main part in texturing, because here in this we are going to import. See, these are the default values: base color, height, roughness, metallic, normal. These are the basics. So you don't change or don't alter all these things because it's a default thing, and no need to change the settings over here. And apart from this, we are going to add baking, that means bake mesh maps. Suppose in Maya we have a two different type of geometry. That means especially the substance painter, why it's very popular now, because it's used for gaming industry also nowadays, and it's used for Amazon. So Amazon started to using substance painter. All the big brands, big studios prefer to work in substance painter and Mari. So because in Photoshop we won't get the exact texturing placement, because we have to calculate the placement of texture, and we have to do a lot of R&D to place the texture exactly in Photoshop. But now after substance painter comes, it's very easy to handle this. Okay, and even here we have a three icons over here. We will discuss that. So we'll finish this and we will go. So bake mesh maps, why this button is available here? So suppose we have a high resolution mesh and we have a low resolution mesh. When we import a low resolution mesh inside the substance painter, we can bring the high resolution model as a baking information. That means we can extract that baking information from high resolution model, and we can superimpose on the low resolution model. That means when we do that process is called baking. So when you are doing that baking process, that low resolution model, it's looking like a high resolution model. Okay, so in that situation, it will look like a fake kind of effect, but it will look like a realistic. That illusion makes the things very realistic. So because of that, industry prefer to work in substance painter. So texture set, we can find out the number of objects from our geometry. In texture set settings, we can identify the base color, height, roughness. These are the attributes which will come default in our layer. So because this substance painter works on layer basis, it's not on node basis. Layer basis, we are going to work over here in substance painter. At the same time, in the top, you can find out the resolution of the texture. Suppose your system configuration is really good, you can go up to 4K resolution. Okay. Suppose your system quality or configuration is not up to the mark, you can go up to 1024, 1K resolution. So, but now we can go up to 2K, because the processor also should support, and the RAM capacity also should be higher. Then only we can see the immediate response in your 3D viewport in substance painter. Otherwise, it will take some time to load the texture in your viewport. So we can go with 2K resolution, and we can keep it as it is, and we will move to layers. So here in the layer, the default layer will be here. So in this, you can choose the color. See here, whatever the texture set settings we discussed here, base color, height, roughness, metallic, normal, the same thing is available here also. We can choose in the layer, we can choose that particular attribute, and we can fine tune that, or we can edit, or we can add some details on that particular attributes. That's what they are giving an option over here in the layers. And here we have a few more icons. It's similar to Photoshop. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. So default layer is available here. So I am going to click on brush tool over here, because now we are in Polygon Fill. What is Polygon Fill? We will discuss a little later. We will go to paint. So when you go to paint, so the brush tool is active now. So we have a layer. So the layer is having a blending mode here. When you click on normal, you can get Photoshop. What are the blending modes are available? All the blending modes are here also. And here we have a value. So you can increase the opacity and decrease the opacity of this shading. Okay. So of the layer, not shading, of the layer. So now the layer is not filled with any color. Now I'm going to fill with the colors. So how to add the colors? Here is the option. So there is a properties window over here. In the properties window, you can find out the stroke, how the brush stroke will come. That sample is available. that stroke shape also available over here. Now you can just go down. So you can just scroll down here. You can find out some option. Okay. So here the size of the brush, you can increase the decrease, and flow value also you can increase decrease, stroke opacity, spacing of the brush. So you can increase or decrease the spacing opacity like this. You aware of Photoshop, you almost done. So almost 50 to 60% of the tools are from Photoshop. So it will be easy for you. Okay, and you can change the angle of the stroke, and flow path also there. Flow path we will discuss. Size jitter, flow jitter. So all these things are available in Photoshop. Okay. And then we have a alpha. This based on the alpha shape only, we are going to apply the strokes on the geometry or texturing on the geometry. Okay, and parameters, hardness, and we have a stencil. We can use stencil to load some design on this. Okay, and apart from that, here you can find out materials. So this is the material like color, height, roughness, metallic, and normal. These are the default mode, default materials which is available in Substance Painter. But beyond this, you want to add a few more. Yes, it's available. It's available in text asset settings. When you click on this plus mark, you can get so many options over here. Like we have a opacity. Suppose you want to add opacity, some area of your geometry is looking transparency, then you need a opacity material over here. Then you can add it, and you can give opacity information in your model also. So all these things are available. We will discuss one by one. Okay. So here color and height, roughness, metal, everything is there. Now I'm going to change the color of base color. So I'm clicking on this white color, and I can choose the color over here. And I can come over here and I can draw. See here, I can suggest you to use digital tablet. Don't use your mouse. Mouse, you won't get accurate result, because digital tablet you can use pen pressure also. Very easily you can use pen pressure, but in mouse it's not at all possible. So you can try to practice Substance Painter in digital tablet instead of mouse. So this is a introduction class. So that's why I'm using mouse now. So next class, when we go for asset texturing, definitely we have to choose digital tablet for smooth flow of texturing process. You got it? So here I'm going to choose a color, and I'm trying to draw. So, but this kind of thing, it will take time, because now when I try to draw a stroke in one layer, I want to add one more layer. I'm clicking on this layer button. Here is the icon. This is the icon to create one more layer. Just create one more layer and change the color. And you can try to apply the stroke over here. See, like this, you can change the color and add the layer, and you can rename the layer. So organizing the layers also very important. So don't try to change the name of the layer. Whenever you are using for your assets, you can name it properly. That will be easy for you to edit the texturing in the later stage also. So organizing the file is very, very important. So now you can add one more layer, and in this layer you can change the color of this to green, and you can just apply over here. So like this, you can add more layer, and you can add more number of colors over here. So like this, we can use the layer. But I find I feel some difficulties over here, because see, like this, when we give stroke for each and every geometry, it will take too much time, right? Because it's taking so much time to do this process. Like I should increase the brush size. How to increase the brush size? So open flower bracket, close flower bracket will increase and decrease the size of this brush. Okay. So, and they can decrease the brush size. But even though when you increase the brush size also, it will take too much time to finish the process. So instead of this layer, we have one more layer called fill layer. That fill layer is available over here. This fill layer, it's acting like a paint bucket. right? So add a fill layer over here. Once you click on this add a fill layer, you can get an option similar to a layer, but here when I change the color of this base color, what happened? Immediately it affects the geometry. That means here we have only one geometry. So when I change the color over here, immediately it affects over here. But the same process I want to apply over here. Red color I applied. Now I want to add green color. But only few areas I want to apply a green color. So how to do that? So now you can add one more layer, one more fill layer. Okay. And you can change this color to green. Okay. What happened? So now we have two layers. In the fill layer 1, we have a red. Fill layer 2, we have a green color. When I hide this fill layer, I can see the red color. But I want to apply this green color somewhere in the geometry. So how to add that kind of effect over here? Yes, there is an option over here. So you can just go to this layer, right click. Already you are aware of masking, right? In Photoshop, we have a masking process, masking tool. That masking tool is available over here. So with the help of that mask tool, we can add the detail on layers. So right click over here, you can choose white mask, black mask, like the two type of mask we have. You can choose black mask. When I choose black mask, the entire green color gone. Now it's become a red spherical shape. Now I have a paintbrush still active on my tool. So I'm trying to apply stroke. So wherever you want to apply your green color, you can just go and apply. Yes. Suppose this green color, I want to add some height information. Okay. So that means it should project from the geometry. Okay. So how to do that? You can just go down in the properties window. See here, all these materials are active. That means all the information we are getting over here. But when you want to switch off, you can switch off here. Okay, so suppose I don't want height, I can switch off. I don't want roughness, I can switch off. Metallic, I can switch off here. Suppose you want all the information, you can switch on and keep it here. Okay, so now I want to increase the height value. So just scroll down. We have a height. You can just increase the height value here. See here, immediately you can see the difference now. So when I make it 0, see, it's in a neutral position. It won't give any difference in texturing. When I increase this value in positive, this green color, it comes out of the red color. But when I make this value to minus, the green color goes inside this red color. Right? So this is what happens. Now I'm going to brush tool. I'm trying to apply stroke over here. I should choose the fill layer again, and I'm trying to add some more detail. So I can increase or decrease the brush size, and I can make changes. Okay. So now we discussed about base color, and we discussed about height. And I want to add some more detail in roughness. So what is roughness? I will check it out now. When I increase this roughness, what happened? It becomes matte finishing. Okay. So I will show you this in minus value. See here in minus value, you can see the difference. It's looking very shiny. See. So roughness makes that geometry very shiny. It's called material called metallic. When I make this value to maximum, what happens? The environment starts reflecting in your metallic material. See here. So I'm trying to apply a stroke over here. Just watch. I'm going to increase the brush size. See. So when I decrease this metallic value, I should choose the green color. Then I should reduce the metallic value. Slider, see here, it becomes dull. That means reflection part is going off. And here we have a shiny portion because the roughness is minimum. So when I decrease the roughness value to 0, even I can get very shiny part. It won't reflect, but it become very shiny. Oh, sorry, I adjust that height value. Okay, so I'm trying to, okay, height you can keep it here, roughness 0. When I increase this roughness value to maximum, your geometry, it becomes matte finishing. That means it won't be a shiny, it will be matte finishing over here. So you got the idea now? Okay, so we discussed about base color, height, roughness, and metallic. Now I am going to move to next one is normal. Okay, in normal also we can apply some information like how can I do here? I will show you now. See, suppose in this area, in the top portion of this geometry, I want to add some alpha strokes. Okay, suppose I'm going to apply. See here, this is a shelf. In this shelf, the all option is on, so everything is visible over here. I'm trying to pick this alpha information and I'm trying to apply over here in this normal. So you can just drag and drop, press the left mouse button and drag and drop over here. See, it's applied over here. And when I try to go here, I think 1 minute. I will try to switch off all other stuff. I'm trying to focus only on create a new layer because we are working with this fill layer. Because of that, it's looking something different. I'm trying to take one more new layer, new fill layer. Okay. In this new fill layer, I'm trying to apply normal. I don't want anything over here, only normal I'm trying to apply. So just drag and drop this arrow circle. Okay. I think okay. Something. Okay, I'm going to delete this layer, existing layer. Okay, so I want to apply a new layer. Okay, so I'm trying to use a normal layer. I'm not using fill layer. I'm using a normal layer, and I'm trying to apply a normal map over here. Just to go to normal, drag and drop on this normal, and see here I got this normal stroke over here. I can increase the brush size. Okay, and I can increase the brush size and I can make this solid stroke over here. Just click on this. See here what happened. This is a alpha. This is a normal information I applied over here. I got this kind of result. So I can just click here. I can get this kind of result. So we will discuss this later because I thought to explain the entire stuff here itself. Then we will move one by one like that. So you got the idea, right? So like this, we can use normal over here. So we got the idea about display settings, texture set list, texture set settings, and layers. And what is the difference between fill layer and normal layer? Normal layer, you have to apply strokes, like you have to take a brush tool and apply a stroke on one by one, right? And when you are using this one, see here, I'm trying to show once again. So I should take this brush and I should apply. See, this is the existing alpha over here. Because of that, it's coming like this. I'm trying to use some other alpha. Should look normal. Okay, so I'm trying to use some soft brush over here, alpha, to apply on the brush. Just scroll down. We have so many alphas. Can just check with this. Okay, see here, now it's coming this. And I think this is something different. I'll try to load 1 second. Same geometry. I'm trying to click and okay. See here now, this geometry, I am trying to apply a fill layer, and I can change the color of this, and I can apply stroke. This is a normal layer. When you use a fill layer, you can get the same kind of layer with fill name. Fill is the prefix. When you apply red color, it will apply on the entire geometry. That is the difference between layer and fill layer. It depends upon the scene, or depends upon the object. We can choose layer or fill layer. In fill layer, there is an option which area you want to apply only the particular color. Remove that. Okay, so these are the things in layers. And properties, we got idea about all the materials and settings. So scale, rotation, these things are common in Maya also. So we will discuss that in another couple of minutes. We can go ahead. And here we have a shelf. Okay, in the shelf you can find out a lot of things over here. We have a project, so we don't have any project fixed now, so that's why it's empty. Alpha, what are the alphas are available? It's displayed over here. And grunge map, procedural maps, textures, hard surfaces, skin, filters, brushes, particles, tools, materials. Smart materials, we are going to use material and smart material for our texturing process. Smart masks also there. Even we can use masks and environments, color profiles. Okay, so but now we are going to focus more on UVs and other stuff. Still, we have to discuss about few more interfaces. We will discuss one by one. Then we can move to shelves and all. Okay, so here we can just go ahead with this. See, the geometry is available, layers we discussed. Now we have to go to this top few icons over here. So I'm trying to choose the brush tool, because when you are using a layer, then only you can get this brush tool active. When you are moving to fill layer, you won't get the brush tool active. So you should be very careful, right? So then how we can apply a brush? Okay, so I want to apply a new stroke, then you should use mask. Okay, then you can apply stroke here. Okay, so then only this will be active. The brush tool will active in fill layer. Okay, in normal layer, we can get the default brush over here. We have an eraser, we can erase this. Okay, and here we have a projection. So what is projection? How we can project the textures? We will discuss that a little later. So the list of tools we will go through a little bit later. Here we can increase the size of the brush. See here, I can increase or decrease the brush size. I can increase or decrease the flow. And the stroke opacity also I can increase and decrease over here. And spacing also we can increase or decrease over here. Okay, then suppose I want to apply mirror strokes. I want to apply a symmetrical stroke over here in the geometry. Yes, you can do that. Okay, we can just select this. I'm trying to apply a stroke over here, but it's applied on only one side. I want to apply on both sides. Then you can press L. When you press L, you can apply a stroke on both sides. Okay. So like this, you can apply a stroke over here. So this way we can activate the symmetry. So L is the shortcut key. Otherwise, you can find out the icon over here. This icon also gives you option to switch on the symmetry. Once you switch on the symmetry, sometime you may feel something like something different in your geometry. Maybe you want to activate the symmetry, but that symmetry shouldn't be in the exact middle. It will be a little bit in the side of the geometry. Normally, it's not possible in any other software, but in Substance Painter, yes, it's possible. You can just go to the settings, and here, so we have to switch on this. You have to move the settings value from 0 to here. Okay, what happened? This line moves over here. Now you can do mirror strokes over here. This is possible. Okay, and you can go back here and make this value to 0, or you can go here and you can apply a stroke over here. Okay, like this we can change the settings. Suppose you want to reset this, you can just click on reset button. It will come back to normal. And this line you don't want to see here, you can just switch off this. Show intersection, you can switch on and switch off this. Okay. At the same time, you want to switch on this plane, that symmetric line as a plane. You want to see here, you can see. But it's little disturbing, so you can just switch off this. Okay. So like this, you can activate symmetry on your geometry. Okay. The next one, I want to change this direction. So here I want to show something. I have a lazy mouse. So there is an option called lazy mouse. Lazy mouse, it's very famous in ZBrush. So in this Substance Painter also, lazy mouse option is available. But instead of finding out the icon, see this is the icon to activate lazy mouse. You can press D for dog. So you can just get that symmetry option over here. Sorry, not symmetry, lazy mouse. I'm going to switch off this symmetry option. So I'm trying to switch off L again. You can press it. It will go to off mode. So here lazy mouse, it's on. So once it's on, you can just apply a stroke. So what is the special of lazy mouse? So without this lazy mouse, when you try to apply a stroke, you can get a lot of zigzag flow of your strokes. But when you use this lazy mouse on your mouse, you can get the smooth stroke. See, there is no zigzag. That is the special of lazy mouse. You can increase the distance and you can decrease the distance also. When you increase the distance, you can get very slow stroke. See here. So my mouse is somewhere, but the stroke is following with us. Okay. You can make this distance value a little bit in the middle. So it will be easy for us to identify the stroke. See, the stroke is very steady, solid stroke. There is no shaking in the stroke. Is it clear? So I didn't ask you anything. Simply I am running. Yeah, how normals act in Substance Painter. Okay. So normal, it's act like a see, in bump map, in Maya, how the bump map works. Similarly, in Substance Painter, normal works on surfaces. It will create a depth. Okay, it will create a illusion of depth on the geometry. Okay, so that is what we are using normal. And 15 minutes. So any more question? Up to now, it's clear. Is it clear? The flow is okay. 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 Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So you got the idea about. Thanks, Sujit. So we got an idea about lazy mouse. We got an idea about symmetry. How we can switch on the symmetry. And there is one more option, one more shortcut we have, that is called color picker. Okay, how we can pick the color. So we have a shortcut key in a keyboard called P, letter P for parrot. When you pick that, you can apply a stroke over here. Okay, so you can just you can go letter P. You can just pick this and try to apply. See here, the stroke is a little dull. I think something wrong over here. I don't know. We are in the fill layer, but still it should come. So P is the shortcut key to pick the color information over here. Okay. So whatever the color you have, you can pick the color and you can apply a stroke over here. But the stroke is a little dull. I think, I don't know why it's coming like this. Okay, because of lazy mouse, you can switch off, but still it's looking dull. That's something wrong. But P is the shortcut key. You can just try to pick the color. That color will come to your mouse. Then you can apply a stroke. See here, it changed over here. So when I click on P and move my cursor over here and pick the color, it will change the color. Okay. So this is one more shortcut key, useful shortcut key for us. Then next one. So you got the idea about environment, map, display settings, layer, and shelf. And suppose now I'm going to bring my 3D model. Okay, so for explaining few more things to you, I need the 3D model in my scene. So this is a 3D model I did in Maya. I didn't create any default sphere. This is a spherical shape I created in Maya with cube. So when you use cube, you won't get the triangles in the geometry, because most of us, we used to prefer to work on a spherical geometry for eyeball kind of stuff. But in eyeball, we have a triangles. So you don't want to apply a texturing on triangle. You can just prefer to go with cube. Take a cube, apply 2-3 smooth, automatically you will get a spherical shape over there. So that spherical shape only I imported as a OBJ file in Substance Painter, and I try to show some options. Okay, now I'm going to import my 3D model. So how to import a 3D model from Maya 3ds Max? First of all, you should unwrap the geometry thoroughly. Okay, then after that you should rename the geometry properly. So each geometry name should rename properly, and you should group it properly. The grouping, renaming, and the placement of the geometry in the 3D space, everything should be proper. Then you can try to export the geometry into OBJ. OBJ format is the best. Even FBX also okay. So you can export the entire geometry as a OBJ and keep it in one drive as a lower version and higher version. Because lower version, because when you are working with the gaming kind of character, keep a lower version and higher version. So when you import a lower version in Substance, you can import a higher version as a detailed texturing part. But now I'm not going to import a lower version of the geometry. I'm going to import a higher version, but high resolution mesh of my bot. Okay, so I'm trying to import my geometry over here. So just to go to new, and here the default template Pbr metallic roughness, keep it as it is. No need to change anything now. Just go to select, and here already I created FBX files and OBJ files for me. So I'm trying to click on this bot one FBX high, click on open, and here already I unwrapped the mesh, everything, it's ready. So I'm trying to import it directly. So document resolution, you can change it here. Instead of 1024, you can make it 2048. And normal map format, you can keep it DirectX. So it depends upon the platform. Suppose you are going to work on Unity or Unreal. Based on that, you can choose the normal map format over here. DirectX, it's for Unity, and OpenGL for Unreal. So you can choose any one based on your platform. Then you can click on OK. Discard. See, this is a bot model I did for this class. So just you can try to make this shelf window small. And this is a model. We will do the texturing process slowly. But before that, we can discuss few more things now. The model is ready. This resolution of the model is a little high. I think, say Polygon Fill. See here, the model is a little high resolution model. So triangle is very difficult for you to find out in this geometry because mostly quads. So I won't prefer triangles. So all are quads. Okay, but except this sphere. Okay. So this geometry is in Substance Painter. Now I want to see only frame or only the body of the bot. I want to see here. then Alt Q. So you can find out this texture set list now. See, this texture set list is here. Okay. In this, you can see the geometry name in a proper manner. Bot body, bot landing gear, bot side fix 02, frame, screen. So I'm going to switch on and switch off the visibility now. So you can just click on a bot body eye icon. See here, it's separate. So you can just go here, bot landing gear. So this is a landing gear of geometry. Bot side fix, bot side fix 02. And frame, yes, its frame is separate, and screen is separate. So I did like this. Each and every geometry is separate. Now you can just click on this Alt Q, okay, and you can just click on this Alt Q. So like this, you can just go and check it out, the individual portion of the geometry. Suppose you are going to give more detailed texturing part on the geometry, then this option will be very helpful. You can focus only on the body of the bot and you can focus more. Now, I would like to show you how the UVs are in the UV space. Because still now we are seeing only the 3D model. We are not able to see any UV space. So I'm going to switch on that. So go here and click on this 3D only, and you can choose 3D and 2D. Okay, just press F to bring this. See here, because I selected only the frame, because of that I can see only the frame UV here. Screen, yes, press F. I can see the frame screen over here. Bot side fix 01, bot landing gear, and bot body. Okay. So normally, see, now the industry people are not working on individual geometry like this. So all together they will select as a single geometry and they will bring it over here. Later, when they are trying to apply texturing process, that time they are using like a this one, Polygon Fill. So they are using a Polygon Fill and they try to apply different texture on that geometry. How the Polygon Fill works to bring different geometry in our viewport, I'm going to show you now. Suppose here, this is a geometry. Now we can use this shortcut key F1, F2, F3. So F2, when you press F2, only 3D, F3, only 2D, F1, both. Okay. So here we have a perspective view, we have a orthographic view also. So when you have a perspective view, your view will be perfect. Okay. In real world, how you are watching on geometry, on object, that will be the perspective view. Suppose when you are using this one, orthographic view, your geometry will be something different. That means exact front or exact side. When you see some geometry or some object, that will be like a orthographic view. Okay, mostly orthographic view we won't prefer. We have to prefer with perspective view. So F5 is the shortcut. So you can just go with F5. Okay, and here we have a few more options: free rotation, constraint rotation. But we'll go with constraint rotation only. Free rotation, it won't have much control. So go with constraint rotation. Okay, now what we can do here, I can show you how this Polygon Fill works for us. Okay, so when you use Polygon Fill, when you click on Polygon Fill, the entire geometry turns to wireframe mode. Okay, suppose I try to apply some specific texture or specific portion in this geometry, then I can choose easily over here. So I have chosen bot body. So I would like to isolate other things. So just I'm going to switch off other things over here and frame also. Okay, so bot body I have selected now. Now I want to apply some texture. Okay, so when I select the Polygon Fill, I can see the properties polygon fill mode. There are different type of modes available over here. This is a triangle fill, okay, and we can just go here, polygon fill, mesh fill, UV chunk fill. So when I choose,
Suraj, sorry for interrupting. Can we take 2-3 small questions here?
Yeah, please.
So
Yeah,
I would like to ask from Geet. Okay. He is asking, sir, I can't bring in Blender file as OBJ. Sir, Substance accept ABC format.
See, mostly you can convert your geometry into OBJ. OBJ file always supports. So ABJ format, you can just try here. I think.
He's asking about ABC format.
ABC, it's there now. ABC format is there. ABC also it will accept, because see, mostly we used to work in FBX and OBJ. But ABJ is a Blender file. Yes, it accepts. It accepts the file.
And one more thing, Likit asking, can we modify the geometry in this software?
Likit, it's not possible. Likit, here we can apply texturing. We can apply materials over here, but we can't edit the geometry here. Substance, it's only for texturing process. It's not like a ZBrush. It's not like a Mudbox.
Like in Maya, how we modifying the character?
No. This is not modeling software. This is only the texturing software. So we can't edit the geometry.
Okay. And Satyaraj asking, what are all the system configuration required for using Substance Painter?
Satyaraj, when you use Substance Painter, I can recommend at least 2 GB graphics card and 16 GB RAM. So 8 GB RAM also okay, but I can recommend you go for 16 GB RAM. That will be best for your workflow. So you can go for 9th generation processor, and you can go for 2 GB graphics card, 16 GB RAM. That will be my suggestion. That is good for you.
Okay.
4 GB, I think. Okay, so he is having 4 GB graphics card and 8 GB RAM. Yes, now Satyaraj, you see every software, when they are introducing, I worked in Maya 5, Maya 4. That time and all, it won't occupy more space in the system. But now Maya itself, it occupies 5 GB, 4 GB. In Max and all, it's taking 8 GB space in hard disk. So definitely they are increasing that hardware configuration also every version. So now we need to upgrade to 8 GB. At least minimum 8 GB RAM is required to run 3ds Max and Maya, because that is the least requirement. The minimum requirement they preferred to install the software in the system. So better you can upgrade your machine to 16 GB or 8 GB. That will be great, because at the time of texturing process, it will take a lot of memory. So you need a lot of RAM. So that time it will makes you you feel uncomfortable. So better you can upgrade your system, Satyaraj.
Okay. So one more is there from Viren. Can you explain what is the use of anti-aliasing?
See, anti-aliasing, nothing, man. In the system, see, when you are using anti-aliasing, see here, when you are going very close to this, you can find out the dot line, right? See here, when you go very closely, you can find out the jaggy edges over here, okay? So those jaggy edges you can remove when you are increasing the anti-aliasing value in anti-aliasing settings. So then you won't get this jagginess. It will give you a smooth surface for your visual experience. That is the anti-aliasing. And rendering also, it will give you a proper output.
Great. Thank you. Another last couple of questions we'll take. Sir, how we can reset brush settings?
See, in this we have a brush over here. Resetting in the sense how? See here we have a brushes. See, these are the default brushes available. So in this, maybe, how we can reset?
Maybe Jayant asking about once you apply the brush. Like in Photoshop, we do some settings in brush, and again we do for the reset as per the by default. So
okay,
like that.
Okay. Here I don't think so. See here.
Because this most of the brushes have been given like a by default size, and how the surface is there, according to that it will apply there.
See here the values are clearly mentioned, size, flow, everything. So you have to make the note of those numbers. That will be helpful for you to bring back the same size. That is the possible way, because here we don't have a reset button to make that settings in a default value. That's the my reply for your question.
Yeah, yes. And Anirudh asking, what is the button for mirror paint?
L for Langara.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much. You cleared all the questions down till right now we got it. So we can proceed for the next, sir.
Yeah. See, smart materials and all we will discuss in a couple of minutes. We'll see one by one. Okay. So here, just now we crossed this one, like how to isolate the geometry. We discussed. Now polygon fill we can finish. Then we will move one by one. So in polygon fill, you can select the geometry and we can apply a specific color on the geometry based on the quads or based on the triangle. See, now I am trying to check the triangle option over here. Before that, I am trying to change the color over here. Red color. Choose the triangle option and just drag. What happened? See here. When I choose this, my strokes capture the triangle part. Like, see, each geometry is having two triangle, right? See here. I'm trying to pick some triangles over here. See, each quad as is having two triangles. So based on that, it will pick the surfaces, right? This is a polygon fill. Suppose with the polygon fill, we can fill the colors. Whatever the color you want, you can fill it here. And here I want to apply quads. Okay, so just click on polygon fill. And you can just try to select. See here, it will select only the quads. It won't select the triangles. It will select as a quads only. See here. It won't go for the triangle. You got it? And next one is a polygon. So this is a mesh fill. When you click on mesh fill and click on the geometry, it will fill the entire geometry. See here, it's done. One click, the entire geometry covered by the red color. Suppose I want to apply some different color because here when I choose 2D and 3D combination view, I can see 3 different meshes over here. The ear part is separate and the antenna is separate and the base mesh is separate. So now I want to apply a separate color for ear and antenna. So how it is possible? You can just go back to the layer. You can add one more layer and you can just go to polygon fill and change the color over here. See, when I change the color to green, and I can just go back to only this 3D view. Okay. And now I can just drag my mouse because here instead of mesh fill, I'm trying to choose UV chunk fill. Now I'm trying to drag this. See here. Nice, right? What happened? Because of this polygon fill, I can pick my triangles, I can pick my polygon geometry, I can pick my mesh, and I can pick my UV, and I can fill the color. You got it? So this is the way we can use polygon fill. In this, any doubt you have? No. Okay. See, in the middle we took some topics. That's why the flow got stuck. I'll try to show you once again. Okay. Okay. See, the geometries we can hide with the help of texture set list. We hidden other object. Only what body is visible with the help of polygon fill. So you have to select the polygon fill. Once you select the polygon fill, you can find out the polygon properties over here, fill properties. In this, based on this fill mode, you can fill the colors. Okay, there are triangle. So that means each quads have a triangle. So you can just select the geometry in triangle manner. See here, right? This is the way. I will make this to red. It will be easy for us. See, it will be like this. Each quartz having it two triangles. Two triangles form one quartz. Got it? Similarly, polygon fill focus only on quartz. See here, it will fill only on quartz. There is no triangles in your selection. Okay, this is one. And next one is a mesh fill. Mesh fill in the sense the entire geometry filled with the red color. Done. Now the last one is UV chunk fill. UV chunk fill identify the UVs. Based on the UV, it will fill the color. So because of that, I have chosen two views over here. So in this, we have three UVs. One is a body mesh, another one is an antenna, another one is a ear mesh. So the body mesh, I can keep it as a red color. And the antenna and the ear mesh, I want to apply some different color. For that, what I should do, I should change the red color to green. But see, when I choose red color to green, and I can try to choose the last option, and I can pick my antenna, just drag. Done. And I can pick this ear. I can pick this ear. What happened? This individual UVs, I applied a green color, and this base mesh, we have a red color only. You got the idea now, or still you are confusing? Yes, it's a great software and time saving. Yeah, Gopal.
Few more questions are coming.
Okay. The doubts and we can proceed.
I think they are getting a little bit confusing somewhere else.
Okay. See, polygon fill, I can tell you polygon fill is a tool which will help you to choose the individual geometry based on the triangles. Like, see, there is a polygon fill, right? I explained you polygon fill. We have 4 types. One is a triangle mode, another one is a quartz mode, another one is geometry mode, another one is a UV mode. So here we have 3 UVs. So I want to apply different colors on antenna and the ear part. Because of that, I have chosen UV chunk fill. That will help me to choose only these UVs and I can apply a different color. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing fantasy. It's very, very basic. Don't confuse, because this will help you at the later stage of texturing process. Is it clear? 2D view also you can fill, Gopal, no problem. 2D view also you can select the UV here. It will fill the color. Blend.
Sir,
Don't worry.
some questions. Sir, I think we'll go for the questions because lots of questions coming now. One by one,
yes.
I'll read here.
Yeah. We can.
So from Likit one is there. Sorry, one Akil is asking. When I had tried to import my OBJ file, there is an error to fail to load 3ds scene.
Okay,
and
so
one more like this issues coming. Like Shajid Ahmed asking why FBX format is smooth and OBJ format is rough model.
Is it? I don't know, man. Both are the same.
Some technical questions asking.
Yeah. See, FBX and OBJ almost similar only. I don't know, because see, when you apply FBX, we can transfer with the texturing. So some texturing information also we can carry with FBX, but in OBJ we can't carry texturing information. That is a major difference. Other than that, the geometry will look like same only. I don't know. Maybe the graphics card issue, I don't know exactly. Okay.
So we'll go for the next question. Tirth Patel asking how to assign different geometries to texture set list.
How to assign different geometries to text list. See, this part, texture set list, you have to assign this information in Maya itself. So you no need to bring it here and you no need to rename here, because in Maya and 3ds Max itself, you should rename the geometry and you can bring back here. Because renaming it will help you to organize the file properly in Substance Painter. So better you can rename there and you can bring it in your Substance Painter.
Great. We'll go for the Ravi Sharma's question. It is necessary to unwrap the model in Maya before bring it in Substance Painter?
Yes, Ravi. Without unwrapping, how you can apply texture? The texture, it won't stick on our geometry. And even when you apply strokes also, it won't apply the surface in a proper manner. So you have to unwrap it before bringing into Substance Painter. Now we have a lot of plugins are available. Even you can use the plugins to unwrap the model in Maya and you can import it. No problem.
Great. Vamshi Krishna asking, sir, how can we add custom text in Substance Painter?
See, custom text. Custom text in the sense you have some text you want to import. Yeah, we can do that. I'll show you, because it's in alpha method. We can bring it in Substance Painter. We can't use a typography over here, but whatever the typography we have already, we can import to here easily. That is possible. From the photograph, from the image, we can bring the typography and we can use here. And I think one more is there. What is Harshit Kumar is asking, like, can you please tell us how to bake bake maps in depth? Yes, we will discuss, Harshit, because we have a 3 session. Without this, another 2 more session we are going to discuss. In that, we will discuss everything. But in this class, I'm giving a little bit brief about baking process. Okay, so how to add some detail with the generator. Then how we can get a little bit a nice look for our geometry, we will discuss. Okay, and end of the day you will get something to practice. That is for sure. We will get it. Okay, and
then sir, from Shiv Indians, one query is there. Apart from the brushes preset in software, can we make customized new brush or import some of them?
Yes, you can import brushes. It's available. You can try to import brushes. You can try to import textures, and you can import like seamless textures, like how to say Pbr material from internet. Even it's possible. You can bring it in Substance Painter. Yeah, Sapnilji, anything?
Lots of them. I'm selecting
lots. Okay. See, procedural textures, Vamsi, whatever the process we are doing in Substance Painter, that is comes under procedural textures. Substance Painter itself, procedural texture software. So don't confuse in that. So smart material, yes, Satyam, we will discuss. Don't worry. We will go ahead with that. Duplicate. Duplicate is not possible. Okay. Then, Sapnilji, can we proceed? Hello, sir. Milin Shah, something he asked na.
Milin Shah. Wait, sir.
Some students here not able to understand.
Sir, how some part on Hindi.
Okay. Some part in Hindi if available. अच्छा मिलन ये सेशन में मिक्स कर सकता हूँ मैं, मगर सबको समझ में होना चाहिए. somebody is not good in हिंदी, इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश में कम्युनिकेट किया. मगर आपके लिए 2 बार मैं करूंगा, एक बार हिंदी में, एक बार इंग्लिश में. ठीक है?
We will try where we want, so that the point we can explain in Hindi. But most of these sessions are for the pan India, so according to that we using unique language that English is everyone can easily understand.
Yes. Sapnil ji, you can next.
Yes, sir. From Satyam, what is the smart material and how it works?
See, smart materials. Smart material is a combination of 2-3 things together. See here, I can show you in smart materials shelf. I can show some geometry. Then you will come to know how this smarter material is very helpful for us. So we have a couple of materials. When I drag and drop over here in my scene, I can apply this directly over here also. Okay, so I can try to apply. See here, I applied this smart material over here, but I got a combination of few things over here in this layer. See here, copper red bleached, that is the smart material information. It comes with the folder. So when I expand the folder, you can get so many information, right? So when you open this, you can get shocked, because so many combination gives the final look and feel of the texture over here. You got it? So this is a smart material. You can add a generator, you can add a fill layer, you can add more information in this one particular material. And finally, that means it's not a big task. Even you can create a smart material of your own. Okay, so we will discuss that in upcoming session. In another 15-20 minutes, we will discuss that one also. Okay.
Dear students, we have the series of these sessions, Substance Painter part 1, 2, and 3. So few questions we can take it in the third and second part also, because today's session was much more dedicated for the interface purpose. So
mostly, Swapnil ji, even this one, I think this interface session we have to keep one more, because the time is running just like that. So now it's 5 o'clock. I don't know. Started. It's ending like that. So we will check it out. So because whatever the maximum possibilities to discuss today class, we will discuss. The remaining portion we can keep in another session. And you people will practice today's stuff. It will be great. So अगला सेशन में भी ये कुछ हम डिस्कस करेंगे बेसिक इंटरफेस के बारे में, क्योंकि एक ही सेशन में हम पूरा कंप्लीट नहीं कर सकता, इसलिए वो सेशन में भी आपको पूरा बेसिक्स बताएंगे. बाद में हम थोड़ा एडवांस लेवल को जाएंगे. ओके, इज इट क्लियर?
यस सर.
Okay, see, this is very basics. Don't confuse with anything, and you don't expect something advanced, because now only we started. And some question I saw like backface culling. Backface culling in the sense the inner portion is looking transparency. How can we avoid that? See, this transparency, because the normal direction is reverse. That means the outer surface is having a proper normal, inner surface we don't have a normal, because normal is outside only. Because of that, it's looking like this. Suppose when you bring it inside the Substance Painter, then definitely in case you want to see the inner portion of the geometry, or you want to apply texture inside of the geometry, then you should have a extrude method or a duplicate surface then that means the normal both side it will be available. Okay, so in that case we can use that option to apply texturing inside the portion of the geometry. So otherwise it will be like this only. Okay, yeah. How to create a texture set list? Texture set list, it should be in Maya, so I already explained. So any questions, Sapnil?
Yes, sir. We'll take one final round for today's session.
Yeah.
So how to adjust the object lighting, sir? Praveen asking.
Which lighting? Optic lighting, yeah?
Object lighting.
Object lighting. Okay. Object lighting. See, object lighting